Hello again, gamers. Welcome back to the Board Game Captain. I'm the Captain,
And I'm Cal.
and today we are going to be reviewing and showing you how to play Sovereign Chess. So, Sovereign Chess is a game designed by Mark Bates, and I want to start by thanking Mark Bates for sending me this review copy of Sovereign Chess. Before we get too into this, though, I want to say, if you're in a position to and would like to help support the channel, there's a link to my Patreon in the description below where you can get access to early release videos, behind the scenes videos, as well as the ability to request review and tutorials to your favorite classic games. And if you would like to get some cool gamer gear, t-shirts, mugs, etc., there's a link to my Teespring store in the description down below. So, Sovereign Chess. So Mark sent me this copy of Sovereign Chess. It is listed as 2 players. There is, though, actually a 4-player variant in here. We haven't tried that yet. We've been mainly playing it at 2 players. It's ages 6 and up, and the time is 15 to 60 minutes. Because the time can vary quite a bit. I would say it could go longer than that, but it could be pretty short too.
Depends how far you mess up. Whoever who doesn't know how to play, it'll be a quicker game. Obviously.
Yeah, I was gonna say. You've got the rules. So the rule book in here is a total of about 4 pages. Now there is a short area in here which tells you how the pieces move in chess, but the rest of the rules assume you basically know how a piece moves in chess, and then tells you what's different about it. Most people know how to play chess, but they do have a quick thing here. It's like, tells you exactly how a queen moves, a rook moves, a bishop moves, a knight moves, a pawn moves. So there is something to give you a rundown if you're not too familiar with chess. But let's be honest, I don't think anyone who's not familiar with chess is buying this game. You're going to buy this game because you're a chess fan, and you're like, I want to play a variant of chess.
Correct.
I mean, right?
Yes.
So then we've got the board. The board is huge. Absolutely huge. So I'm going to unfold it here to show some. You're going to see more of it out on the table. But it's like a giant chessboard with some colored squares. We're going to explain why that is in just a moment. Whoops, I folded it the wrong way. There we go. Okay. And then we have tons of pieces in tons of different colors. Now, there are more pieces of the white and black because, as you'll see when we're set up on the board, if you're playing 2-player, you play the white and black. There's also more pieces of the light gray and the dark gray because that's for the 4-player variant. But otherwise, usually you use a smaller number of pieces of all the other colors, which are colors you can gain control of during the game, right?
Correct.
So, and then that's basically it. That's all you've got in there. So we're going to run down some of these. We'll alternate on these rules. So these are the rules that, if you are familiar with chess, these are the extra things you generally need to know for playing Sovereign Chess. And the rest of the rule book goes into greater detail about how that all works. So I'm going to go with number 1. Unless otherwise stated, all the rules of traditional chess apply.
Number 2, players always control their pieces which match the color of their king.
Important rule. Number 3, after the first player moves a white piece, the second player may choose to then play as white or make a move as black. Now, this is a cool one because it really counteracts the bonus to going first. You don't want to make a really good move as your first move if you're playing white, because you don't want your opponent to just be like, oh, that's a good one, I'm going to take that.
That's correct. All right, then number 4, no piece may move more than 8 squares in a single turn.
It's really important because it with this giant board, it restricts the movement of the queens, the bishops, and the rooks. Very important move. Number 6, pawns move orthogonally, capture diagonally like normal, but they have to move towards the center lines of the board. There's a line going along the center of the board in both directions. You have to be moving towards one of the brown lines. The brown lines are the center lines. When you're against the brown line, you can capture diagonally across it. Otherwise, you have to keep moving towards it. And the next rule is the reason why.
That's an important rule for number 6, too, because that'll catch a person who is not aware of that rule, and you will lose pieces quickly that way. I think you skipped rule number 5, which is no piece may move into a square of its own color.
Oh, thank you. I didn't realize I missed one. Oh, so yes, so number 5, no piece may... Thanks for that. Number 7, which links to the other one I was saying before, is pawns on the first or second ring of the board may move 2 squares away from their closest edge. So this is really cool because sometimes you may move or even capture sideways, and you can even move 2 spaces when you're in the outer edge of the board.
All right, the next rule is usually for chess players who know this or who play is the en passant capture is not allowed in this game.
Next rule is when a pawn moves into the middle 4x4 square, there's a big black box around the 4x4 square, it promotes to a better piece of the same color. In addition to how the normal promotion works by moving into the back, your opponent's back row with a pawn, there's also the ability to promote to a king. And if you do so, your other king is removed from the board. It's a good way to get your king out of check and get him to a totally different area of the board.
Especially if you're in trouble. Number 10, if a pawn promotes to a king... Did we just talk about that one?
Well, we talked about how it's ability, but...
That's correct. If a pawn promotes to a king, the original king is immediately removed from the board, which you just stated.
I did say that, you're right. And then while a player's controlled piece is on a square of any color, they control the pieces of that color, except if they're on the color of their opponent's king. Right. So being on a black square, the white player will not control the black pieces as long as the black player is still controlled by a black king. You can promote a different colored piece to being a king, though, to switch your color during the game.
All right, number 12, players may only capture pieces controlled by the other players. So the ones that are not playing, the colors that are not on being used in the game, I think.
No cleaning out.
Correct.
No cleaning out neutral pieces to avoid your opponent taking them. Only one square of each color may be occupied. This is an interesting one because you take over. There's always two squares of each color. If you take one, nobody can move into the other square. You can move through it, but not stay on it.
Okay, where are we at? Number 14, is that correct? Okay, a player may castle with pieces that are controlled by the player by moving the king to any open square directly between itself and the rook and moving the rook to the adjacent square of the other side. That's basically a regular castling move.
Except that the important part here is you can use multiple colors of pieces to do it.
You can do that.
That's I think that's the important distinction here. And then a player may replace their king with a king of a different color they control, which constitutes their move, unless this leaves the king on a square of its own color, in which case it would need to take another move. So there are two ways to have your king change color. One is to promote a colored piece, a colored pawn to become the king, and the other is to just take your turn to swap your king out for a different colored king, maybe because you're just running out of your white or black pieces.
Basically, just don't get into trouble. And dominate the other team so you don't have to worry about that rule.
Yeah, but getting into trouble happens. So we're going to take you to the table. We're going to run you through a game of this to show you how it goes. And then we're going to come back and we're going to talk about how this game plays and how it feels. And we're going to rate it and review it. Okay, so here you can see a full setup for a two-player game of Sovereign Chess. So I'm on this side of the table and I will be making the first move with the white pieces.
And I will be making a second move with the black pieces.
Unless you choose to decide to take my move. We'll see how that goes. So now one of the interesting things about how this game plays is I make a move with the white. I'm going to make, I think I'm going to do this one here. I'm going to take this pawn and I'm going to move it up 2 spaces here. And now in doing so, Cal gets to decide, does he want that move? Or, and which if he does, he will take the white pieces and we'll switch sides of the table. Or if he doesn't, he can now make a move with the black pieces. So Cal, what are you thinking?
I'm going to make a move with the black pieces.
Okay, fair enough.
All right. I'm going to take my pawn and move it 2 spaces up as well.
Okay, so now I am going to do another giant leap forward. This time with this pawn here, I'm going to move 2 spaces forward.
All right. Let me move my spot 2 spaces up. Pawn 2 spaces up over here.
Now I am going to make a move with this pawn here, and I'm going to move it onto this dark blue space. Doing so gives me control over the blue pieces here, as well as the blue pieces over there. Meaning that in future moves, as long as I continue to have my pawn on that space, I will have the ability to move those blue pieces instead of my white pieces if I so choose.
Okay, moving the pawn over to the red square so I control the red pieces on the board near there and over here. So I have that choice to using those pieces along with my black pieces.
I'm going to choose to immediately threaten that pawn in the red space by moving up one of these blue pawns, now that I control them, up here. Now, the pawns can move towards the brown lines at the center of the board. So doing so is totally legal. I can move this way or I can move that way as long as I have the room to maneuver, and he moves like a normal pawn otherwise.
Okay, I'm just going to move my pawn over here to protect.
I'm going to take the first capture of the match by using this blue pawn to capture your black pawn, and I will take control of the red pieces on the board from you.
All right, I'm going to take the rook to take my spot back of red by taking his pawn, and I control the red again. So rook takes pawn, and it's within the legal limits of 6 spaces.
8.
I'm sorry, 8 spaces.
Don't worry about it. Okay. Important note about moving pieces that normally in a normal game of chess can move any number of spaces, such as the rook, the queen, and the bishop, is that in this game there is a big difference, which is that you can move a maximum of 8 spaces on the board. I will be moving my bishop out because offense is good. My blue bishop, but my bishop nonetheless.
Oh boy.
This gets crazy real quick in this game, way faster than normal chess.
I need to protect my rook, so I have to move it. So I'm going to lose control of the red pieces. But
You hadn't done anything with them anyway.
well, I'm just moving it over here
Okay.
to set up the attack. I'm just protecting my rook so it doesn't get taken for free. So I will move it next to your blue bishop where I don't see any threats yet.
Not at the moment. There does not appear to be any threats there. You are correct in your current assessment. I'm going to move my blue queen forward to protect the bishop. Taking pieces on your opponent's side of the board, taking them over early in this game is so valuable.
Mm-hmm. I did that to you last time, but I got too cocky and lost my piece, and you just took over after that. Alrighty, let's move this over. Pawn moves up
1 space.
1 space.
I believe that you are threatening my blue queen with your bishop there.
It's false allegations.
Very rude of you. Very rude of you. I have a perfect response to it, though. I will take control of the red pieces with my queen and threaten your rook, who is and while my queen is protected with my bishop. I think this works very well.
All right, to save my rook, I'm going to have to move it, moving it within the 8 spaces required to the green, so I control the green spots, which is
right adjacent to my pieces here.
Correct. And there's another set right over there.
So, since Cal has taken these greens, which can immediately start attacking me on his next turn, I'm going to have to jump right into the combat first, and I'm going to use my rook to capture his green knight.
Okay, and to fight back, I got to take my green rook to take his white rook.
My knight is in danger from the rook, and I could use it to capture this pawn, but doing so I would immediately lose my knight to the rook anyway. Would be kind of counterproductive. So instead, I'm going to do a little bit of maneuvering and just get it out of the way. So I'm going to move my knight up here. Now, his rook is endangering my bishop, but if he takes it, I will immediately get to take his rook back with my king.
Just going to move my green pawn over.
Threatening my bishop, I say.
No, just saying hello, that's all. Friendly hello.
I'm going to move my blue bishop onto the orange space here, immediately taking control of the orange pieces.
Whew. Boy, it just got serious here.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just going to move my queen over here.
Moving your green queen out, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Threatening my blue queen with your green queen?
Just saying hello.
I'm going to move my red queen straight across to the other red square. I'm not going to lose the blue queen to that. But I do want to maintain control of the red pieces.
Okay. I'm going to be moving my queen as well.
Are you going to be capturing something?
No capture, just a move.
Okay, so moving your green queen over here to my side. Currently threatening a few things.
Yes, a few things only. Just trying to verify if I'm being threatened here. You have control over red
And orange.
orange.
Red and orange. Whoops.
So there's the orange. All right, my apologies.
I'll fix the pieces.
Okay, I'm going to stay right there.
Interesting maneuver. Because of doing that, I can't take you with my bishop. You're now double threatening my bishop with your green rook and your green queen. Nice move. Very well done. I must commend you, sir. That was a beautiful maneuver.
It was a lucky move.
Mm-hmm. Time to play a little bit of the defense. I'm going to throw a pawn in your way.
Touche. I guess I'll be taking a free piece right here since he controls orange and cannot take it.
That was interesting. I did not expect that. I'm going to jump to the other side of the board here and move this red pawn 2 spaces out from its edge.
Let us move the green 2 spaces up. Oh, well, is that right? Yeah, I have to.
Okay. Will that be all?
For now.
I'm going to move my orange queen out here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spaces to take control of the dark grays.
Oh, man.
Which are either corner. The light grays are in the opposite corners.
All right, I'm going to just use my rook to take the bishop. I'm just going to sacrifice a spot so A, he can't castle anymore, and B, it'll just open up a spot. Oops. To just take more whites away from him.
Fair enough, and I will, of course, respond by taking his green rook with my white king. I didn't think you were going to do that.
I'm running out of space here, man, to do something. So I'm just sacrificing pieces here. All right, let me give it a shot. I got nothing to lose here. Just moving my green over.
1 space.
1 space. That's all I can move it to.
Okay. My turn?
Yes.
I'm going to move this gray knight out of the corner there.
Protection is good.
Threatening my bishop, are we?
Just saying hello.
Well, that's very rude of you, so I must respond by taking away your green pieces.
Oh, no! That's why you got to pay attention and watch every single piece.
I do believe that you control nothing left but your black pieces now.
Yes, that hurts.
I have managed to take half the board. You're in trouble.
Big time. Houston, we have a problem. All right, I'm just going to have to move up 2 spaces here.
Okay, I'm going to take this green piece, move 7 across the board. Check.
Oh, I have to counter that and obviously take pawn. Pawn takes queen.
Queen takes pawn. Check. Giving up the green there is no big deal because I already had used the most important green piece and you had lost the other important one. So
I'm just going to have to use the knight to protect.
Protect your king?
Yeah.
Fair enough. I'm going to move my blue queen here from the red space to the yellow space, giving up control of the reds to take control of the yellows because they are immediately adjacent to my enemy's pieces. Essentially doing to you what you did to me earlier when you had your green control next to me. Just moving that pawn forward. I am going to use yellow to capture your rook over here with its pawn. But you knew that was going to happen.
Yes, I should have thought about that. But I was concentrating on this. Since this is the brown line, I could still attack this way. Is that correct?
That is correct. You can capture my gray queen there if you want.
That's what I wanted to do to get that out of the way. That was more of a threat than anything.
That's a fair point. Well, it was a terrible thing that I missed that capture, but I'm going to capture this pawn here and threaten your bishop with my yellow pawn. What are you going to do about that?
I am stuck there, and I'm going to lose that bishop. Since I have no other move that's threatened by me, I'm just going to take bishop takes pawn.
And I'm going to immediately take bishop with my yellow knight check.
And I have to get out the threat out of the way. I'm in trouble.
You're in a lot of trouble. You're a double check from the rook and the knight.
I got one spot. No, technically...
Unless you could get in... Well, no, you
I'm
can't even get in the way, yeah.
I'm over here.
You can go over there. That'll work. Rook takes queen. Check.
King takes rook. No more check.
True. Very true. However, it will come again. Yes. I'm going to move my orange queen up to here. Check.
Well, I'm going to need the bishop to protect. So,
indeed. I'm going to move my yellow knight up here. Check.
touche. All right. Now it's going to be the running king. Which way to go is the question. Let me stay protected.
You're dead. Watch this. Queen takes bishop. Check.
Well, no. Technically, I could take knight takes queen.
Oh, yes.
Uncheck.
That is that is true. Wow. Well done. I'm just going to use the knight to take pawn.
Opening me up again, huh?
Yeah, clearing out some of your protection.
All right. Protection is good. All right. King taking knight.
I'm going to say check. See if I can get control of some more pieces over here.
Now you're messing with me.
I've been messing with you all game.
But is that going to kill me?
Let's find out. Check.
It's the only spot I got.
Check. Protection is good.
Good call. I have to save the free knight.
I'm going to move this knight forward here. Check.
Ay, ay, ay.
Move my queen out and take control of the reds again.
Inch forward.
Take control of the purples.
Yeah.
Check. Check.
Only one spot to go.
And correct me if I am wrong. Is that mate?
Not yet. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I don't have an escape route. Oh, you got me. I can't block it. Congratulations.
Good game, sir. Well played.
I really wanted to get this move over here to show your camera that if I move that piece right here, it would give me a queen.
It would promote,
Right.
and you would get another queen.
That's what I was trying to go for. So at least I had a fighting queen and a fighting chance.
Well, there you have it. That is how you play a two-player game of Sovereign Chess. So now we're going to head back. We're going to talk about how this game plays and how it feels, and we're going to rate it and review it. All right, welcome back. That was how you play a game of Sovereign Chess. And this game keeps you on your toes.
It does. It's different from the regular game, and you have to pay attention to every single piece, especially if your opponent is on a different color.
It's so tricksy because the whole taking over the multiple pieces, especially like in our example game, when you took over the green pieces next to me, suddenly you were attacking me from the side, and it's like it. You know, you have to anticipate that. It's like, oh, he's got green. I need to immediately defend or go on the offensive. And then I did it again to you later in the game by taking over yellow.
Right. My strategy in the beginning was to attack him from the inside and take as many pieces as I could. His strategy worked even better, where he was starting to control more colors.
Yes.
And he started attacking me more and more. And then I messed up on one piece, and his gray snuck up on me and controlled my green piece afterwards.
It's like the green, yeah.
And I was totally dominated after that.
It's very interesting because you have to give up one of your pieces to control another color. And sometimes it's a powerful piece you're giving up. Later in the game, if that color is no longer as valuable, you can pull that powerful piece off and regain control of it. Because the thing is, the pawns take so long to get to the middle of the board where all the colored pieces are. Often you wind up with like bishops and rooks and queens on pieces of certain colors. So you are giving up the use, at least temporarily, of one of these more powerful pieces, but to gain control of 8 new pieces.
Correct. My second strategy was, it failed. I tried to move up to the middle square so I could change one of my pawns in order to a more powerful
into
piece
a queen.
of a queen, right? So
Yeah.
I could at least have a fighting chance, but it
So
didn't work.
okay, so all right. First off, for a totally indie game, I want to talk production because I think the production is really nice. These are the fairly standard plastic chess pieces you see in most basic chess sets.
Correct.
It's a very nice cardboard board, and the board is obviously totally custom. And also, though, I love that they have the chess pieces in so many colors.
Yes.
So many colors available is really, really great. So I would say the production is quite well done, especially for a super indie game like this is. Would you agree?
I agree. Yes.
Go ahead. Did you? You know what? Actually, though, before we get too into it, do you have any negatives you want to draw attention to with Sovereign Chess? Anything that sticks in your craw, makes you think that, you know, this could have been better or this is just not that good? Any section of the game that bothers you?
No, I mean, this is the second time I played it with you. I mean, it just took time to get used to the rules in the beginning, so I had to learn by my mistakes in the first game. But then I tried to change the strategy in the second game, and I just got totally dominated after my mistake. So don't make a mistake.
Bottom line in every game, don't make a mistake. All right, so I don't have any negatives to call out either. So the only thing I could see maybe for some people is, well, obviously, if you're not a fan of chess, you're not going to be interested in this game. You have to, at least at some point in your history, been a fan of chess. Like you could be maybe not a fan of chess now, but you were a fan of chess growing up, and then but you're like, oh, this is a new way to play chess. It's very different. Yeah. It refreshes it for you, and I think that's really cool.
Right.
Yeah, I have no negatives to talk about. I really like this game a lot.
It was fun.
This is a fantastic game. All right, so positives. Go ahead. What do you got for some nice positives?
It gives, how could I say, adds more spin to the game when you're in different colors. You have to think more, stop and look to see which pieces are protected and which is not protected.
Double check who controls what.
Correct. Yes.
That's a big one. You're like, wait, what colors are you controlling again? Because like, if I go there, wait, am I in danger if I go there?
So there's more to think in this game. So that's one of the great things to think about. It just gives a new spin to the game if you're sometimes bored of playing regular chess.
Yeah, it definitely revitalizes the whole concept of chess for me. Because like I haven't played regular chess in a long time, but I would play the heck out of this. Mm-hmm. I would definitely play this anytime somebody asked. And I like now I haven't tried the 4-player version. It's listed as a 2-player game, so the 4-player version is listed as a variant, and I like that. I don't think I would want to play 4 players because then there'd be player elimination. But at 2 players, I think this game is fantastic. Yes. I love this game at 2 players. I really enjoy it. And like I said, totally revitalizes chess for me because like regular chess, not as much in the mood to play anymore. But this, already growing up playing chess and loving it back in the day, yeah, this is a total interesting new chess variant that I will definitely try to get to the table as much as possible in the future. What do you think?
Oh, it's a great game to play, especially if you need an hour or more to kill, correct?
Yeah, definitely. I thought of one minor downside. This is grasping at straws. Really? Takes a while to set up. Oh. There's so many pieces out there, it takes a while to set up. That's the only downside I could think of. That was the only one. Which, that should tell you something. Really good game. Okay, so I'm not sure if you're going to be higher than me or not. I usually like to let the person who's going to be higher than the other go last. What do you think? Now you've been playing it pretty cool. Do you think you're going to rate it higher than me or not? What do you think?
Well, I've lost twice, so.
So do you think you want to go first then on the rating?
No, go for it. You could go ahead.
Okay. So I'm going to rate Sovereign Chess a 8.5 stars out of 10. I really like this game a lot. I like it way better than original, just regular chess. I find this incredibly enjoyable. This turns chess into a modern abstract board game with a lot more going on. I love the area control elements of controlling the colors to gain control over new pieces, and then that you really have to pay attention to who's controlling what. It makes it a much more brain-burning dynamic game.
It does. And I'll go with an 8 because I haven't won yet, so.
Is that the only thing holding you back from an 8.5?
Yes. So.
And what's hilarious is he beats me every time we play regular chess.
Right, I do.
But you know what would be interesting to try with this is you and I have played a lot over the years of Nightmare Chess. I would like to pull out the Nightmare Chess cards and play it with Sovereign Chess. How crazy would that be? So, all right. So, well, this is obviously a 2 thumbs way up. So 8.5, 8 stars respectively. This is going to be a 2 thumbs way up review from us. If you grew up playing chess with family members, friends, whatever, but have found that chess has gotten stale for you, I think we can totally recommend this to you as a new chess variant to try out. Because this is awesome. Oh yeah, I'm gonna put a link in the description down below to where you can to their website, so you can go and purchase a copy of Sovereign Chess. This is really fun. This is a really cool game. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns either on this video or on the game of Sovereign Chess, feel free to put them in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed this review and tutorial video and you'd like to see us do more like it, be sure to give it a like, share it on all forms of social media, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to the Board Game Captain. That's Captain spelled with a K on YouTube. And until next time. Game on.
Game on is right. That'd be interesting. Hey.
Oh, we're going to have a puppy blooper. Puppy blooper. Oh, puppy blooper. He's like, I want to be in the video. I want to be in the video. Hey.
All right, Nico. You getting a piece of me? You want to break this game?
Okay, Nico. Behave.